Welcome to this healing container. Welcome to this event. I welcome you to turn on your video if you feel it is appropriate for you right now. And there's always the benefit to turning on our videos because we feel more engaged. At least for me, I feel that whenever I had my videos turned off, my mind will be equally switched off, but it may not apply to everybody. That's just for me. Yeah. So we really are very, very excited to bring forth these goddess frequencies for you in this event. And they have kept me so excited for the past week. And I could really feel their excitement bubbling in. It's I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Asha. Okay, I'm an ascension guide, multidimensional healer, Akashic Records reader, healer, blogger, YouTuber. I'm also a light language artist. I've been actively working with clients since 2020. So welcome to this healing container. Welcome to this event. And I asked them in December, I asked my team, what event would they like me to bring forth to this group in January? Because we wanted to start off with an event that is inclusive and also very much aligned to the current energies. And they said that the goddess frequencies want to come true. And in particular, the goddess wants to prepare each of us truly to embark on our highest timeline, not just for this year, but they have shown me that they want us to be really aligning ourselves so powerfully, energetically in the future self of our highest timeline 3 years from now. And for those new to my work, we do a lot of things in the energetic realm. And it is very powerful because changes in the energetic realm can happen instantaneously. Massive shifts can happen instantaneously. And it is a continuum of timeline. We're talking about the past, the present, and the future as one continuum timeline. And alongside our existences, we're not just one human body experiencing life on Earth. We're so many multidimensional aspects, parallel existences, so fragmented, so past, so aspects everywhere. When we powerfully reclaim all this and we shift on an energetic level, these beings of us, it is almost unexplainable, but it trickles down to our physical reality. It creates so many massive shifts within us. And the goddesses are reminding me that had I not been involved in this energetic work since 2019, I wouldn't have been here, talking to everybody today because they remind that I'm very much, very, very introverted. And I mean this with all my heart. And it's almost like I'm quite socially awkward by nature. And my preference is not to speak when I can. And even when I speak, often I had a lot of social anxiety to the extent I need to script in my mind what exactly I need to talk to avoid talking nonsense. But the goddesses have reminded me that through all these years of holding their hands, working with them, they working with me to clear my fears, to reclaim my powers, to find my voice. And today they have prepared me as the vessel then to share these light codes with everyone and to share their messages to all without having to script, without having to plan, without having to worry. And so that's how energetic shifts can happen powerfully and then trickle to us in our physical existences. And then they shared that, this year, a lot of people are talking like 2025 is the rise of the divine feminine. What exactly does it mean? So I tried to ask them to simplify. Yeah. So they said that the divine feminine energies have come in so powerfully and so much a necessity this year, because historically there were two things that happened. The first is that traditionally women, and we're talking about women, males, females, they've taken on multifaceted roles in the family as caregivers, as wife, as parent, and as breadwinner of the family. They've taken more and more roles. And the other side is the feminine qualities within us. The feminine qualities, just to clarify, are within males and females as well. So within males and females, each of us, regardless of our gender, we have the divine masculine energies and qualities, as well as the divine feminine qualities that we need to learn to harmonize within us. If we don't harmonize, what happens is that dreams and goals remain etched in the energetic realm, and we cannot really pull them down to concretize it, to make it into reality. So then, back to our topic. So traditionally, women have taken on multifaceted roles, and traditionally, there's all these feminine qualities. Feminine qualities, we are talking about intuition, sensitivity, appreciation of beauty, dance, pleasures in life, being more community based, spirit and way of living, as opposed to authority based, rule based, order based. So, this traditionally, these two categories, women and feminine qualities, have been greatly suppressed. So, this has happened throughout society and the way we lived in. It's not that the masculine energies are not important, but it's more that it has been given more emphasis than is needed. And in our society these days, unfortunately, what has unfolded is not just masculine preference, but a skewed masculine preference. And what they meant is that in systems of governance, that desire, that obsession with control and power is almost like not just something. So what happens is that the divine masculine, when it rises to its full power, and the divine feminine, the two energies can work synchronistically and harmoniously for each individual to really help us to rise to our highest potential. The feminine side of intuition, of sensitivity, of connection to the heart, bringing it alignment with our soul's desires and our heart's desires. And Albert. All right. And then for the divine masculine side, to help us to feel very protected, that shield of protection that sometimes we need, and that ability to take dreams and plans into fruition. So then the systems of governance these days is almost like a skewed masculine, because then there's this preference towards by select individuals for power, control, influence over people. And then they project biased or one-sided ways of ruling systems of governance. And now, therefore, energetically, they are almost saying it's like a wake-up call for humanity at this stage to really rediscover the part of ourselves that's being suppressed greatly and hijacked. for us to really find the true codes back to these divine feminine energies within us. Basically, what is the focus here? The focus is to help and guide us to restore to a state of inner harmony of our masculine energies and the feminine energies within us. So that's what the goddesses are here to guide. And they say that for this year, they wanted me to share that, what does it mean when they say like, then, energetically, there's this rise in divine feminine. So what does it mean? So sometimes, so these are the events, these are the key pointers that will surface. The energies will propel us to feel a certain way. And this feeling of a certain way might be guided by different other events. So let me elaborate. So first, the energies this year will guide us to allow our heart voices to be heard instead of the usual default of the mind taking control. And what this means is that for those inner trauma and wounds, the unresolved childhood pain, these are things that will come up. And especially for the first few months of this year. And for as long as we do not resolve these issues, as long as there are blockages for us to open our heart further, open our heart deeper, connect to our heart and really listen to it speak, these blocks will keep surfacing for us to have the opportunity to do something about it. It's not to torture us. The unresolved childhood memories, the inability to forgive maybe certain parents in our life. So if we have not fully resolved, if there's still those remnants of that resentment, it will keep coming up because the energies will propel us to guide us to open our heart. So whatever is standing in the way will keep pushing in. So that's one. The second is that the energies will also propel us to connect to our inner harmony. So within each of us, be it male or female, you will kind of observe where you tend to lean towards, whether it's more the masculine energies of yours of, taking action, decisiveness, courage, power, or towards the feminine side of more intuition, more sensitivity, connection to the heart and emotions. So you will notice for each of you where you tend to lean towards, whether a male or a female. So then whichever side that you lean towards, the energies will then try to shift you to somewhere closer to center. It wouldn't be exactly in the middle, but for example, for myself, traditionally or for many years, I've leaned towards a more masculine side. So I'm very good at taking actions fast. But when it comes to connecting to the heart, listening to the heart, allowing the heart to speak, it almost comes as if like I need to reassess. When the mind, the logic thinking, substantiated with evidence, I'll go right away. But when it comes to the heart whispers, I'll take a long time to chew and chew and chew. So this is then my inclination, in the past towards the more masculine side. And then therefore the energies this year will then try to shift me more and more towards the heart. So more inner work, more issues. Wherever we have opened the heart, to learn to open it up deeper. Because sometimes clients get a little exhausted. They say like, we have been doing this healing work for so long and it's like so draining. Do open and open and open and more issues surface and surface and surface. Then present life clear, then past lives come in. Yeah, this is actually really part and parcel of the clearing. And I assure you that once you clear to a certain level, liberation awaits. It's not always a very painstaking journey. For that, I can vouch. Yes. And then the next thing is that energetically, the energies will propel us to discover and deepen our intuitive abilities this year. So you will notice there will be a trend of more people interested in spiritual causes, esoteric causes, even people that maybe we thought or we assume will never be interested. So focus on ourselves, and wherever we may be in our spiritual journey, that this year will propel us to learn more, go deeper into what we already have. And they are now just whispering to say that uh, if we are already on spiritual causes, on spiritual development ourselves, if you realize that the causes that you have been learning from have not changed since 2020, so it's the same syllabus all the way from 2020 onwards, then something, it might need further reconsideration of the usefulness of this course in terms of its alignment to current energies. So what they're saying is that even in spiritual causes that we sign up for, we're not talking bad about any teachers or any modalities, but they need to keep updated in alignment energetically. And things are really moving very fast since COVID. So if things haven't changed for that modality for many years, especially from 2020 onwards, then it's time to do a rethink. Maybe it's time to learn something different or part ways or shift for ourselves. And they say that energetically, the last thing that will also come in is that we will feel, a lot of us will feel very compelled to rise to discover and rise to our personal soul missions. And they want to say that each of us, we don't have just one soul mission. We can have a variety of small and big soul missions, and they are almost like they will ripen at every stage, depending on our own readiness. And they are saying that sometimes soul missions doesn't have to be all glamorous and big. It doesn't always involve us, being a spiritual teacher of any modality. Sometimes our soul mission might call one of it might call for us to be a better parent to our child, a better spouse. It might call for us to really learn to connect to our heart's desires instead of, and also they are saying that the soul mission for this lifetime for many might be to really reclaim our original power and sovereignty that have been taken away, that have been hijacked by others in many lifetimes, where we might be sacrificed, we might have obeyed instructions that were not aligned to the highest good, things like that. So, okay, so all this talk about this divine feminine energies. If you have any questions, feel free to write in the chat box. So then they say, what does it mean? We talk so much about this. What does it mean? How can we, in this year, align ourselves energetically and powerfully to these divine feminine frequencies in our daily lives? With all this onslaught of energies that we have just shared, that will propel us to kind of relook on certain things like rise to our soul mission, things like that. So what does it mean in our daily life? What can we do on a very practical note? So these are some suggestions. The first is to learn to consciously slow down to the rhythm of nature. They say that it is because it is skewed. The society, humans are not meant to live in such a fast-paced rhythm. The mind got hijacked, and we are almost living in misalignment with ourselves. Therefore, we live in a very fast-paced, we put ourselves under a lot of stress in this cycle, in this work cycle of no day and no night. But in truth, the slowing down is actually our original pace. And it is the pace, the closest frequency to it is that of nature. So when we connect to nature, we sit in silence in nature, we sit by the rivers, we sit in the forest, and we just, feel into the frequencies of nature. That is the rhythm that they want us to embody in our daily lives, really consciously slowing down. Because when we slow down, we create more space within our vessel. We become less detached, more detached from the work that we are obsessing, from whatever obsessions, from the technology. And that allows more parts of ourselves to connect with us, to be heard, to be felt. The second way is to learn to pause and reflect. The feminine energies have a lot to do with reflection. It's like, they're saying it's like the moon energies, where we take time to slow down, we take time to consider what has unfolded, what we could have done better. We give ourselves a pat on the back on what has gone well. We learn to recognize how we feel within ourselves each day. Because they say that it's so important. So many of us are very desensitized and disconnected with our emotions because we go through the hustle and bustle of life. We rush and rush and rush. So we become very disconnected. So having the time to pause and reflect, to really notice or even jot down if you feel like it. How do I feel today? What am I grateful for today? How could I have done better today? And when we acknowledge how we feel, then we acknowledge the parts of us that feel angry, that feel dismissed, that feel unheard. And then we can recognize that maybe we can do something about this. We don't have to continue feeling the same way day after day. If we feel resentful about life, do we want to continue feeling resentful about life for the next few days, weeks, months, years ahead? Yeah, so doing something about ourselves by first acknowledging and connecting with our own emotions. And the third, as we have shared, they say the practice of gratitude daily will help us because it helps us to appreciate the beauty and pleasure in life. Slow down and connect to the beauty and pleasure in life is a very feminine quality. And then it also helps us to raise our vibrations in that process. It's a very gentle way. Every day, for every little good thing that has happened, we acknowledge, we credit it. And then they say that creates a positive force field of more better things to come. Then because we become that magnet for better things to come. The fourth point is that we can then also learn to connect to our intuition daily and to trust the wisdom. And connecting to our intuition is something that the intuition is something that we have within us. And what we mean is that knowing, that deep, quiet knowing within us. And the intuition can come in various ways. It usually can come in a feeling of knowing in the heart. And it can come with, as we develop and deepen our own intuitive abilities, it can extend to seeing, hearing, smelling, things like that. But really, they say that when we talk about connecting to our intuition daily, it's really talking about connecting with our heart energies daily. Learning to spend time in meditation, feeling into our heart, feeling into our body. And that is really also a very feminine way of connecting back home with ourselves, our mind, body, soul as one unit. The fifth point is that advice they give to is we can do prayers, singing, dancing, drawing, cooking, things that bring us or connect us to that childlike excitement, joy, faith, and innocence. And it is when I connect to these feminine, like goddess frequencies for the past few weeks, I notice that it comes with it a lightness, um, almost like a bubbling excitement of a child, a lightness, and a lot of excitement about life, a lot of appreciation about life. You know, because it is very different from my usual way that I start to notice that sometimes I notice that because of these energies that came in, I notice how the default is that how unhappy I was. I didn't know that was unhappiness, but I didn't know how to have fun. I didn't know how to go back to that childlike excitement. It's almost like everything becomes a work priority. Even spiritual thing become a spiritual duty. Everything becomes like, oh, there's a list of to-do list 1 to 10. I must discharge my obligation, and then the timeline is by what date I must do what. So when I look at that, I don't feel joy. I feel suffocated. I feel like I'm just doing my work and all kinds of work I have to do. But then when I connect to these goddess frequencies, I feel propelled to do certain things, or maybe that focus is like, okay, let's do this project, let's do this event together, and there's this wave of childlike excitement that comes with it. That really almost, as I continue to entrain with these frequencies, I feel that they're almost telling me and guiding me. It's like, let go of the need for control, let go of the need to write everything down, let go of the need to almost like rehearse beforehand. Just go in and just do it. We'll be here. And this morning it comes so strongly. It's like a wave of childlike excitement too, and it's also very different from my nature. Because I tend to be a little serious at times. It's almost like they coming in to open up this healing container, and they coming in to welcome everybody and to bask in these frequencies. And it's so fun. It's a reminder that um, the same task can be discharged with a lot of joy, a lot of lightness and brightness as well. The same daily job that we go to day in and day out can be discharged with a lot of seriousness and a lot of dense emotions, a lot of almost dragging our feet to step in. But it can also come with a lot of lightness, a lot of joy and excitement for no reason, because that is our state of entitlement. We can just be smiling our way to the office and back for no reason, because that's how we feel within ourselves. There's just so much joy bubbling in that we can't help but permeate it outwards. So that's also how the goddess energies function. So they say that we can get in rhythm with this even more easily when we connect to things that we are interested in, but maybe we are too shy or too afraid to try. Things like singing, dancing. Seriously, not everybody feels that that is their strength, but that doesn't mean that we don't yearn to sing. We don't yearn to draw. It's just that we feel too shy at times or embarrassed to put ourselves in a spot. Yeah, so try to get into this. And then they say prayers are actually a very ancient thing. Prayers is almost, they are saying that in ancient civilizations, people used to gather, and with such pure and innocent hearts, the children would gather in temples, as a community, and then they will pray together, pray for the gods together, pray for the blessings, pray for the food to be blessed, pray for life to unfold with so much divine ease and grace. So prayers were a norm. It's the way of them speaking to God and God to them. So that was how it is, and how we can also revive this to build then this sacred bond. Because sometimes we feel, they are saying that sometimes a lot of us, we feel that gods and goddesses, they feel very distant. We don't really know, we don't really feel that we are one with them. We say we are one, but it feels like they are so high up that we can't really see or touch or feel them. And then, therefore, sometimes they encourage us to connect to specific gods or goddesses, because that becomes more tangible. That one god or that one goddess that we feel inclined to work with will then be a divine representation of the rest. And they might embody certain qualities that we want to work on as a priority. So then we might feel inclined to work with specific gods and goddesses. That is also possible. That makes it a more tangible manifestation of what God or goddess could be or should be, or whatever. And then prayers is like a bridge between us and them. And prayers, they're saying it can be done a lot of ways, but usually speaking is easier because it takes least energy. Yeah, so that's why it's usually the preference. Okay, the next advice, how we can align ourselves to this. Sorry, admit one more person. Okay, so next how we can align ourselves to these divine feminine energies. They say to honor our intuitive abilities as they develop and deepen. So they were showing me yesterday, through sessions that I have with clients, that a lot of times it's not that we don't have intuition. We have some dose of intuition, some dose of knowing. Maybe we have learned the Akashic records, maybe we have meditated, or maybe just we are just more in tune with our body, with our heart. Sometimes messages come through, but the problem is that a lot of us downplay our abilities. We might say things like, oh, I just, compared to others, I'm not as developed. My intuitive abilities are not as developed. Or I only know how to feel. I don't know how to see. I cannot hear. I cannot smell. So, things like that. Or, sometimes I also don't know if I feel correctly or not. Or like, I don't think I'm as good as other practitioners. Things like that. These are things that we say to almost make ourselves less than worthy, almost like down whatever intuitive abilities that we have. We're not giving it enough credit, and almost like whatever that we have, we assume that whatever intuitive abilities we have, we must be highly advanced and developed right from the start. And they say that is not true. A lot of times we have to start from somewhere and then keep building and keep cultivating and deepening it. So it is an ongoing journey. So maybe now we have that feeling, and the feeling can be sharpened. And as we continue to work on ourselves, maybe the hearing comes in drips and drabs, and then the seeing comes in drips and drabs. But it can be deepened. The more we honor this intuition, the more we recognize that, yes, this is my intuition speaking to me. This is the goddesses connecting with me. And this is my heart coming forth. These are the energies coming forth. The more we recognize and credit, the more they say we reclaim our powers and really expand and deepen on our intuitive abilities. So that's how it is. And the next advice is I think we have shared just now, to attune to our body as our guide. So they say that the feminine way of meditating is kind of different from the traditional, more skilled masculine way of meditating. So meditating by males, or the preference, not to really put down anybody, but the preference for meditation was often taught to not just sit in cave, meditate alone, but the focus of meditation, they're saying that it's usually, people ask that, okay, you focus on this one point, your breathing, uh, your third eye, and then you keep focusing on it for the whole duration of the meditation. And then you must reach this void, this emptiness, where you stay in it for as long as possible. Oh my God. So that is the how certain teachings were being taught. And they're saying that even meditation, it becomes like a very serious and a very painstaking endeavor, because not everybody has that kind of luxury of time and focus to keep focusing on one point, and then to reach that void. How many hours are we expected to see in the void? Then after we exit from the void, are we back to the same state? Then if we are back to the same state, then why do we bother to see in the void for so many hours? Why can't we be in reality and sit in our room for a few hours? Yeah, so things like that. So they say then the feminine way of meditating, as we learn to connect more with it this year and in the next few years, is really to attune to our body as the guide. How? That means when we meditate, we learn to connect with various parts of our body, and then learning to feel how each part of the body is feeling. Is there any tension stored in each part of the body? To really learn to send love to various parts of the body, to really send the intention to release tension stored in every part of the body, to learn to connect to the heart and just feel what it wants to speak within it. So things like that is it doesn't require a long amount of time, hours in a void, but it requires a daily dedication and devotion to our body. And they say that as we keep attuning to ourselves, our body as the guide, we will learn to heighten our sensitivity to our body. We learn to pick up signals that we may not notice. Maybe a headache is coming up, and the body is informing us that we've been so stressed out at work that therefore this headache has been suppressed for the longest time. It is now coming up. We need to do something about this stress. Otherwise, it's going to wreck the whole nervous system. And then, we feel into various parts of our body. Then we feel that density may be lodged in the spine. We feel that maybe we've taken on emotions from colleagues at work that maybe we need to discharge. Otherwise, it's there and it keeps accumulating. So things like that, when we learn to attune to our body as the guide, we pick up a lot of things. We end up being that detector for issues even before it unfolds. We don't have to subject ourselves to so much misery in terms of various health predicaments. And even if we are struggling with health issues right now, we have the power as our own body, uh, uh, as the one taking care of our own body, to send it love, to send it healing, to connect ourselves to healing containers. So first, they want us to realize that we ourselves have the power to heal ourselves. Not talking about connecting to various goddess frequencies or whatnot that can amplify, but we ourselves, we can. We have that power. Our mind is so powerful in terms of unconsciously regulating various systems of the body. What makes us think that it does not have the power to then heal our own body? That is one. And the second thing is that then we can also amplify these energies via various healing containers that we go into. For example, here in this goddess event, these goddess frequencies. Okay, so the other point is that the other advice they say is that for us in 2025 to learn to start new projects or take actions to put our dreams or goals into reality. So here, this point, they're talking about coming into inner harmony within ourselves. Not just, the feminine energies of intuition, sensitivity, pleasure, and beauty, but also for us to reclaim these feminine powers, connecting with that masculine powers within us to then put things into action, do something. Otherwise, the intuition, the ideas keep floating around, then nothing comes into reality, and then our reality remains the same. And then what happens is that energetically, as we shared earlier, there will be so many pushes for us to, connect to the heart, develop our intuitive abilities, rise to our soul mission. So with the energies all around being like that this year, if you don't do something, we'll just be deeply unhappy and unfulfilled. And then the last point is that the last advice, they say that with this healing container that we have today, if you like it, you can connect to the goddess frequencies on your own more often. A lot of ways how to connect. One way is, of course, through the recording itself. The other way to connect with the goddess frequencies is in your own meditation to request for access to this healing container. So once we have this healing container, it is actually, we energetically, we keep it open for people to listen. So it takes a lot of trust within yourself to know that even without the recording, when I say I intend to connect with the goddess frequencies in this healing container, I can. So that is possible. So you can do that. And also, so they say that, and also another way is I have a light language that I've done, the light language art. So people are rather curious, what can the light language art do? So yesterday, as I drew, I felt almost this pulsing sensation coming forth. So the energies were emanating through it. And the light language is that these are light codes that allow us to connect deeper to the goddess frequencies. And this was the specific intention I had as I drew. So as I will share the light language art later after the meditation. Actually, I do have it here. We can actually look at it. Look at this. Sure if you can see. But basically, this was what I did for the group. This light language art. And then I will share that later on. Yeah, it's quite interesting. But you can see when you look at the art piece, you can save it in your phone and all, and then you intend to connect with the goddess frequencies and just hold on to it for a few minutes. Feel the energies coming to you, and then you can put aside the light language art and sit in quiet meditation. That's all is needed. So sometimes we just need a reminder. It's an easy access. Okay. Yes. So that's about it. And if you have any questions about what we just shared, feel free to type in. But I would like to end off with a few little announcements on my side. First, on the light language art, I will send a copy to all the participants, not just the people attending live, but people who have chosen to listen to the replay. They've signed up, but because of time difference, they might not be able to attend. I'll send a copy of this light language art to them, so all of us, so we can try to use it and keep an open heart and mind. Yeah, and these are very upgraded light codes that we're bringing forth. So let's talking back about, energies are changing, energies are accelerating, things are shifting. So we can't really do the same thing for many years. It's not workable because it's no longer in alignment. Okay, the second thing is that I do have some goddess events coming up in February onwards. They specifically requested in December for me to come up with 3 goddesses for us to connect on a more personal basis. And if you feel more in tune, if you're interested, you can feel free to join these events because it will, as we shared earlier, sometimes we say like goddess frequencies, God frequencies. Who are they? Where are they? You know, they feel so distant up in the air. But so therefore, they want to introduce themselves based on what they feel the group that will come forth need. There are three specific goddesses, and with them, they have three specific different focuses. They are similar but not the same. So then each of them have a specific quality that is more pronounced within them. So we will then bring forth. So there will be three, but I won't bring forth at one go. They asked me to do A, B, then C. Yeah, but I've been sitting on it, so I'll get myself sorted and get it out. The last thing is that I will also be upgrading my Akashic Records sessions offering. They actually came in very strongly in December to say that whatever I do, I must tear it down. It's no longer the most updated. I can do better. So I will be changing my service offering. It will be similar but not the same. And there will be two routes. One is for more the questions, the earth-based questions related to careers, relationship, love, life, etc. So that will be something. And then it will be bundled together with a light language art for people to connect on a daily basis. The other one will be, that I'll be rolling out, will be ascension readings with the light language art. So that will be a longer session. And we are really here talking about more spiritual seekers, practitioners, guides, teachers coming forth that do need support from time to time, wherever they are, to give them a boost, to propel them further. So that's what we are going to do. So the existing service offerings I do have, I will keep them open until mid-Feb for if you still want the old one, and then you can use it for 6 months until mid-July. I'll write in my newsletter, so it's easier to follow. But then my new service offering, it will come up pretty soon. I've been quite excited about it. But again, I've been sitting on it, so they have been pushing and pushing and pushing. So finally, I'm almost there. I've typed it out. But then, you know, because there's this part on the light language art I'm supposed to deliver, so I went to find the charges and all. So yes, I'm very excited to bring forth this new service with upgraded light codes. If you feel this is something that resonates with you at whatever point in time, then reach out to us. Okay, so that's about it. And maybe now let's take a 5 minutes break. Okay, go to use the washroom or whatever, and then we'll come back for the healing container. If you have any questions, feel free to type it in. See you later. Okay, if you're back from break, feel free to rejoin us. Because most of us don't turn on our videos, I'm not too sure if you're around, but I will presume that most of you are back. You can type in the chat box if it's easier for you. Manasi, are you around with us now? So I can answer your question when you're around? Yes, you're around. Okay, so Manasi has a question. My question is like, we have our guardian angels right from birth with us. Do we have specific goddess assigned to us throughout our lifetime? The question is yes and no, because it depends on us, our own choice. So guardian angels, yes. Gods and goddesses, definitely we have a team with us right from the start. And they will follow us based on our soul's choices, based on what exactly we want to do in this lifetime. And as our priorities shift, sometimes the gods and goddesses, the team shift as well. It's not because they abandon us, but because our priorities have shifted, they feel that internally they need to restructure themselves so that a better team comes in to assist us. So that has always been the intention. And the other point is that even if the specific goddess is not working with us, if we feel inclined to work with them, we can welcome them in, and they're more than happy to join us based on what is the purpose we want them to work with us on. So it is yes and no, but ultimately it really depends on ourselves, what we want for ourselves. All right. So, for example, Manasi, if you want to connect to a specific goddess, you want to really embody her energies, You can call upon her and work with her every day. And she will then, as you keep calling her, it's almost like calling a friend. You keep calling every day. Even if 1 or 2 days you stop calling, she'll be right beside you. That's how close the bond is. And then automatically she'll be part of your team. And until your priorities shifted, maybe you needed her for healing some trauma. It's so painful. You wanted more love. And then after that trauma episode is done, you're kind of moving on and moving to your soul's mission. Then you don't need this specific goddess and you don't call upon her anymore. Then maybe then she'll realize the need to withdraw and then a better team comes in to support you for your soul's mission. So I hope that answers your point. And right now, if there are no further queries, we can move into the healing container. Oh, yes, there's one more. What's the difference between angels, spirit guides, and goddesses, etc.? That's from Kai. Do they help in different aspects of our life? And who are we to ask help from? Okay, so this question, we come very much from the mind. We feel the need to categorize everybody, our team here. Who of the angels stand one side, spirit guides here, then goddesses here, and then, different functions, who are we supposed to call on? In reality, they operate with not much distinction. They don't really see themselves as really dividing their portfolios so clearly like that. So we don't have to be very concerned about who exactly, but know that their energies, they say be open-minded to experience their energies first. So maybe here in this session, we're connecting with the goddesses. Connect with them from your heart. Feel them, invite them in. Let it make your own assessment how this experience feels for you. And then consider how you want to work with them. They are open-minded and there are many permutations how we can work with them. It's not just maybe for love, then I call upon goddess of love. If there's no need for love, then I don't need to call on you. It can be very broad, much broader than that. But sometimes our mind is the limit. Our mind says that, oh, okay, maybe smaller things I need to call angels because, goddesses may be too important. They don't see themselves as like that. They are really accessible, but it really depends, they say, on our own comfort level, who we are comfortable with and who we want to work with at every moment. So kind of to really answer your question, they say keep an open mind, connect with different goddesses, connect with, even your angels. If you have been connecting with them, connect with them, and then really try things out. Keep an open mind and allow that to be really your experience. And then ultimately, they are the same group and they are really here to support us in living our best life on earth. So they are similar but not the same. And they don't really need to operate with so much distinction. Okay, so that's all. You can, if you feel comfortable, you can turn off your screen because we'll be going into the healing container shortly. Okay, I'll be turning off mine. Okay, so now we're in this healing container for the goddess frequencies. I welcome all of you to settle comfortably into your space, taking a few deep breaths. As we breathe in, we allow these divine energies to flow through our being. And as we breathe out, we release all dense and discordant energies and frequencies. Breathing in and out. And we warmly invite each participant's team of goddesses, the goddesses of the higher dimensions, the goddesses of creation, your team of goddesses of highest and purest frequencies, the Holy Mother frequencies, and all other divine beings of the highest and purest love and light frequencies would like to support you in this meditation to step forth. And they huddle around the group in a circle of light. And they have been quietly with us since the start of this session. As the transmission happened, as the messages were shared. And they gather around us in silence, holding the sacred space for our healing. Allowing these goddess frequencies to calm down our nervous system, releasing and detaching ourselves from the hustle and bustle of city life, of daily living. And as we continue to breathe, visualize that in the heart of Mother Earth, that there is a twirling light, almost like serpent-like energies from the heart of Mother Earth. And it twirls up in a circular motion. It twirls up and comes gently and swiftly up to the soles of our feet. And then the serpent energies rises and rotates around our energy bodies, helping to dislodge dense and discordant energies and emotions, and creating a protective shield of light around us as we prepare ourselves to go to the healing temple of light. And as the serpent energies continue to twirl around us, we feel gradually a sense of lightness in our physical body, in our energy bodies. And they gently lift us off ground. And now in our inner eye, we see ourselves transported by this serpent protective grid of light around us and held by the team of goddesses around us as we move up, as we rise to this portal of white light that opens up above us. See ourselves moving up individually and collectively up this beam of light. And we continue to rise. The goddesses bring us to where they belong, moving higher and higher, higher and higher. And as we rise and rise and rise, we notice at one point that a portal opens up in front of us, almost like a gateway. We step through the gateway and allow ourselves to be brought in front of a majestic healing temple of light. The walls are white, almost look like a castle, and little red roofs. And this is the healing temple of light that the goddesses would like to welcome us in. We walk towards the white temple, adorned with beautiful white walls that glow under the sun. And as we step closer to it, there's a drawbridge in the temple, the main gate that opens up from top down. It's like a bridge, for as it comes down, it creates that pavement, that bridge for us to walk. And as we walk, we hear, we notice the rivers flowing beneath the bridge. We cross the bridge and walk into the inner temple. And in our inner vision, the temple opens up. The white marble walls, the white marble flooring, in a pristine glow of whiteness, almost like an angelic sanctuary in the space. And as we look at our own feet, notice that this how our feet looks like as it walks on the carpet that has been laid in front of us. Some of it might be red that you might see. And as we walk on this carpet, it's their way of homecoming for us. And we walk towards a seat in front of us, designed in exactly the way we want to feel comfortable. Notice the furnishings on the seats, the cushion, the carvings, the material. And they invite us to just take a seat on this seat and enjoy ourselves in this healing container. Sit in any way you feel comfortable that makes you feel relaxed. And as we sit in, the goddesses huddle around us once more. And this time we may notice the team expanding in size and number. For this team of goddesses includes those that have followed us from past lives, that are working with our various soul aspects, parallel existences. The huge team of goddesses that we've ever known and are knowing right here, right now, gathers here with each of us. Invite and allow their powerful healing frequencies to course through our energy bodies, to our physical body. waves and waves of light come pouring down, and is filled with so much love and lightness, like how a divine mother holds her beloved child, for you are one of her precious and beloved child. And the team, huddles around you with so much solidarity and support, ready to protect you, hold you, keep you safe. And in this huge bubble of light, it feels like we are in the womb of our Divine Mother, allowing the light codes of these goddess frequencies to flow into us so that we may experience and embody these goddess frequencies as a way of life to guide us to inner harmony and balance, to guide us on the way, the original course of living, feeling, and being. And as this happens, they start dancing around us and continue to hold us in this energetic womb of the Divine Mother that they have created. And they are assisting now and inviting us to powerfully call back all parts of us that were traumatized, that were abandoned, that were rejected, that were lost and confused. Our inner children, our unresolved wounds, calling back our soul parts, soul fragments, soul aspects, parallel existences to join us and bask in these goddess frequencies, in this energetic womb. And the bubble, the womb expands to cover all the various parts of us that are ready to come back with us at this moment. And they come, the parts of us come, and some of them are suspended in various corners of the womb, just so buffered, so protected, and so safe in these pristine energies. And feel yourself in this state of lightness as the light course course through your body. And if you feel the urge and need to sway your body a little, you may do so, as the goddess frequencies are never about rigidity. It moves flexibly, it dances, it has its own rhythm of nature, of beauty, of appreciation, of honoring various parts of ourselves. And if we're swaying, the light codes continue to flow in as needed to ourself, our physical body, and the various parts of ourselves in the energetic womb. And so much healing, so powerful yet gentle, is being sent to these traumatized parts of us at the right amount that we need and are ready to receive at this moment. The goddesses hold us safe and gently sense us the healing that these parts need right now. Just breathe and receive. And as various parts of ourselves bask in these goddess frequencies, I almost see in this large energetic womb that each of us is in little bubbles of light surrounding each part of us that has came home with us. And know that they'll receive the right amount they need right now and every time they tune in to this recording. And gradually, these bubbles of light of these soul parts, fragments, and aspects and parallel existences, they come close to you and merge with you into one large consolidated bubble of light. And the goddesses remain huddled around, keeping us safe and protected. And as these parts of us come back to unite with us, we see in front of us from the seats that we're in a bright glow of light that opens up. And the goddesses stand in two rows. The bright light opens up to our highest timeline to connect with the future self of ours 3 years from now, having embarked on the highest timeline. And we call upon this future self to powerfully emerge in this pathway of light that has appeared. And we allow the future self to come closer to us, allowing ourselves to connect with this part of ourselves that has embarked on the highest timeline to come close to us and let us feel their energies. Let us feel and see, if possible, how they look like, how they feel like. The energies that they emanate. The emotions that they hold. And the goddesses continue to stand at the side and to powerfully connect us to this future self 3 years from now. And this future self steps forward comes closer to us and stands right in front of us, opening up their hands and inviting us to hold their hands if we feel comfortable, holding ourselves 3 years from now. And we feel that mergence of energies between us and them. And allowing this mergence to fully take place. For our mind to connect to their mind, our throats, our voice to connect with their voice, our heart to connect with their heart. And for the ladies, our womb to connect with their womb. Just really connecting with our future self 3 years from now, having embarked on the highest timeline and pathway available for us. And allowing us to feel so tangibly, so realistically, how it feels like. And if there are any messages from our future self, they might share it with us through a variety of means, now or after the session, via our intuition, a knowing in the heart. And the goddesses continue to surround us as they witness this mergence taking place, as they continue to emanate their gentle light codes to this energetic womb to rest. And they invite you to come back to this energetic womb as your inner sanctuary for rest, relaxation, peace, love, and clarity, as long as you need, as much as you need. It remains open and accessible for you. And the goddesses now sprinkle rainbow blessings your way. And the rainbow blessings shower down like shimmers of lights of various colors in the energetic womb. It almost feels like a party-like atmosphere. The beautiful rainbow light showering on us, brightening our energy fields, brightening our hearts, brightening our minds. And they are sure that they are around and will be around with us to powerfully protect and guide us in our soul's mission and journey. They are not here to interfere, but they are here to offer the utmost support. And with all the blessings that we receive, our heart is full. Anytime we feel ready and comfortable, we can stand up from our little chair that we've been sitting on and just walk through the carpet to the main door, the main drawbridge that will open for us. And our team of goddesses walk along with us and escort us as we walk towards the bridge, with the rivers flowing beneath it. And then we continue to walk to the portal where we came from. And the goddesses huddle around us in a circle of light as we prepare to descend and make our way back down the beam of light, beam of white light, to our physical body. So we step across the portal and feel ourselves powerfully pulled down the beam of light, making our way back into our physical body. And feel all parts of ourselves coming back with us, our consciousness coming back with us into our physical body. And allow ourselves to rest in our physical body for a little while. You may notice the subtle differences, the subtle changes in your body, your state of being right now. And things will only get better. And the goddesses send some prayers, and then they step forth backwards and go back to the temple of light where they came from. And they say that's not a goodbye, a farewell, but a welcoming of you to their temple, to that healing container, anytime you need, for you have made the first reconnection with them. And anytime you feel ready, take in 3 deep breaths, slowly and mindfully, before you bring yourselves back and open your eyes. And we hope you're back and enjoyed the session. I hope you're feeling well. We will send you the link, the YouTube link, when it is up. together with the light language art so that you can connect with these goddess frequencies and allow it to work deeper. And I feel them really working on various parts of ourselves that have came back in little bubbles of light. And that might require more work because these parts of us, when they come back, usually they come in various traumatized states. And the goddesses were there to help to hold space for us. And I hope you're feeling well now. And thank you for joining us. We will see you when we see you. Send you the email after this. So take care and bright blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.